My name is Jack Hanney, and welcome to this week's edition of The Insider. History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. Now, what we can look back on in history to compare to today's economic markets, the stock market, what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz, as well as the price of gold and silver, is the Arab oil embargo back in 1973. Back in 73 affected 7% of the global oil supply. Now what happened was inflation skyrocketed. The price per barrel of oil quadrupled. We entered a stagflationary period and the S&P dropped 48%. Okay? So back in 73, it affected 7% of the global oil supply. The S&P crashed 48%. Gold, by the way, went from $35 an ounce to $800 an ounce by 1980. Silver went from $2 an ounce to $50 an ounce by 1980. The S&P dropped 48%. So if we look at what's going on right now in the Strait of Hormuz, 20% of the global oil supply goes through the Strait of Hormuz. 20%. So 3 times the amount of the global oil supply is transported through the Strait of Hormuz than what was affected during the 1973 Arab oil embargo. Now, this should cause concern for retail investors, for investors in the stock market. If you have a 401k or an IRA in the stock market, most economists are predicting a crash in the stock market. Remember, there is the highest percentage of Americans in history right now whose wealth is in the stock market. And this is the second priciest stock market in history. This is only the 3rd time where the stock market is trading over the Shiller Index of 40. The 2 previous times, the stock market pulled back 38% and nearly 70%. I am not a certified financial investment advisor, nor do I give tax advice. You can visit us at www.patriotgoldgroup.com or call 1-888-488-5190. Again, that's 1-888-488-5190. Again, so let's look back at 1973. That affected 7% of the global oil supply. Right now, the Strait of Hormuz, it's 20% of the global oil supply. Gold and silver absolutely skyrocketed in the 70s stagflationary era. Inflation skyrocketed. The S&P crashed. Gold and silver absolutely skyrocketed. The price of oil quadrupled. And we have a similar situation, if not exacerbated right now, 3 times as bad. Please visit us again at www.patriotgoldgroup.com. We'll see how this develops, and I look forward to speaking with you next week on an episode of The Insider.